see how you do under pressure. Yeah, I've been wanting this forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another episode podcast to talk about our favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals. Shoot out to the people that are currently in the chat. We got Lorenzo, we got King Plumtree, we got B-Man, Chef, Kojad. What's up, y'all? Appreciate you guys for tuning in today on this lovely Thursday morning, where today is the official day of starting training camp where the fans can be let in. And I'm absolutely super excited, ladies and gentlemen. Football is in the air. Let's get some fire emojis in the comments below. Let's smack the like button here on your way in and subscribe to the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. We are on the road to 17K. Cannot do it without you guys. So go ahead and subscribe it up. It's absolutely for free. I don't know how much times I gotta say. It helps me out a ton. And it's going to be my personal goal and mission to hopefully hit 20K by the end of the season. I know that's kind of overachieving, but at least 17K by the time this month is over. Let's see if we can go and hit it. But ladies and gentlemen, let's go and get started here. Football is almost back. Well, I guess technically it is back. It's in the air already. It's just obviously we got to wait for the regular season and preseason to start up here in August. But man, oh man, we got some updates that we already kind of let you know a little bit about yesterday from Jonathan Gannon, already kind of letting us know that there's 3 players all on our defensive line that are going to not be participating in day 1 of training camp. And of course, we ended up seeing Darren Urban as well as Ian Rappaport confirming that they are now being placed on IR. Absolutely a big gut punch to the Arizona Cardinal fan base. It almost kind of feels like deja vu, just in a nutshell, because we've dealt with this with Darius Robinson, former first-round pick in 2024. He had a calf injury as well, but now we are landing with B.J. Ojolari, Bilal Nichols, as well as Walter Nolan. So we wanted to go ahead and open this up here and try to get some sort of therapy session, right? To kind of chop it up, talk about it back and forth. If you truly feel like Walter Nolan will be available here in week 1, I do got a poll set up here at the top of the chat. If you guys are watching this at, live, go ahead and participate here in the poll question that we got there. If you're watching this on a replay, go ahead and let me know here in the comments below if you think Walter Nolan will be ready to go by week 1 of the regular season. Now, we're going to be diving into the comments of what exactly Jonathan Gannon came out and said. And then we're going to be discussing together what's next, what could the Arizona Cardinals potentially do, right? Who's going to be his replacement if he's not going to be available here in week 1, and how critical it is if he's going to be removed off that PUP list before the final 53-man cut down, because that's going to be very, very telling moving forward. So without further ado, everybody, let's go and get started here. Let's go ahead and dive right into exactly what Jonathan Gannon said yesterday during his, press conference before day 1 of training camp.
Couple injury notes for you guys. Bilal won't be out there, coming back from the neck still. BJ won't be out there, coming back from the knee. And a new one that popped up was Walter hurt his calf training, so he's going to miss some time. And all 3 of them are doing everything they can to get back on the field.
So it does almost kind of feel unfortunate, because we are very much kind of having the same feeling as we did last year when it comes down to the Arizona Cardinals with their first-round pick of Darius Robinson, right? We shouldn't, obviously they're 2 different people. They all heal differently, right? Kind of hearing the questions following up what he provided, this because he gave us this information, right? Like less than a minute before his press conference starts. That's usually how he does things. He likes to give you the injury updates, and then he's like, okay, ask me some follow-up questions, right? So this is kind of the instance of what we ended up hearing. Now, this report from Ian Rappaport and Darren Urban probably came out 30 minutes after the press conference, being the fact that, yes, they are indeed being placed on the PUP list to start camp, right? Now, The next thing that we're going to be diving into is that the follow-up questions that were asked to him, I don't know. Like, I want to be optimistic that he is going to be available here in week 1. I truly do. It's just at the end of the day, I don't really know, right? Listening into what Jonathan Gannon said, there's a lot of gray area, but there's a lot of gray area. And I truly think that he doesn't know, right? Obviously, there's got to be a lot of evaluations. There's got to be a lot of tests being done. And of course, you're not going to risk somebody with a calf injury. Now, obviously, depending on the severity of it, in meaningless games in preseason. So we might not see him in preseason, but the biggest question is, are we going to see him during, the regular season in the start, right? So this is exactly what Jonathan Gannon had to say on a few different follow-up questions from the media yesterday in his press conference.
How serious is Walter Nolan's injury?
They're all different, but he's going to miss some time. Really don't like to compare injuries. He hurt his calf, a little bit different injury, and they're obviously different people, so he's working hard to get back.
When you say this time, do you mean you're expecting throughout past camp and into like preseason, regular season, or right now just talking about training camp time?
Well, I don't know, Danny, honestly. They're all different, so he's recovering, rehabbing, and he'll get out there when he needs to get out there, but he's going to miss some time.
Now, he keeps saying he's going to miss time, right? He's going to miss time. And he's probably talking about, he's talking about Walter Nolan, right? He's talking about Walter Nolan. We don't know if B.J. Ojulari is being placed on the P list because he's not 100% like fully ready to go after his devastating injury that ended up happening before the season started last year. That might be one of those things that he's still taking a little bit more, right? Maybe he needs maybe another month. Maybe it's more precautionary reasons. Maybe they want to make sure that he's fully healthy in the start of the regular season before anything, right? So I don't know. Like, I'm seeing a lot of people here in this chat, but not just this chat, but I'm also seeing it in my comments on the YouTube videos, and not just that, but on social media as well, talking about B.J. Ojulari, right? The two players that people are really more concerned with is going to be B.J. Ojulari and Walter Nolan, right? When it comes down to Bilal Nichols, it does kind of feel like people are already in the instance of, we're probably going to cut him anyways, right? Because of people saying he could be a surprise cut, which indeed, if the Arizona Cardinals are truly, like, we did upgrade and we got so much depth in the defensive line. So I'm not in panic mode per se, but Bilal Nichols is probably one of those guys, which at one point was our number one starter, right? Him and Justin Jones coming in when we ended up bringing him in 2024 in free agency. Now they are probably so far behind the depth chart because we want to get a lot of these young guys with a lot of promise and give them reps. He can definitely very well be a surprise cut right in the 53-man roster. So people don't seem to be really, really concerned with the whole Bilal Nichols thing. If we keep him, that would be cool. I know he'd be a really good depth piece for the Cardinals, especially because we are a, rotational type of defense. But what really people are really focusing on is B.J. Ojulari, second round pick for the Cardinals back in 2023. Never really got a, leg up in his career with the Cardinals. In his rookie year, he had 4 sacks. No, and then of course injury, and then a year 2, which a lot of people were expecting a big jump that for B.J. Ojulari, and he got hurt before the season started, right? So I'm not sure if it's going to be one of those things where it's more precautionary. I'm not on team cut B.J. Ojulari. I'm truly not. I do believe that the Cardinals absolutely do like him, and they might be, dealing with, maybe they're just being cautious with him, right? Maybe he does need another month before he's back in practice, right? Maybe they truly believe in what he can do, but they want to make sure that he's fully healthy before, he's actually playing in meaningful games, right? Because outside B.J. Ojulari, in terms of our edge rushers, we got Josh Sweat, Baron Browning, Zaven Collins, and Xavier Thomas, right? Those are our top 4 guys. Now, you could also throw in Dante Stills in there as well, which I really do like. Dante Stills is a great player, or at least a very, very good player, being the fact that he was a late round pick for the Cardinals. And I think he has exceeded expectations from where he was drafted, but those are like our starting outside guys, right? Like our starting outside linebackers. So Josh Sweat, Zaven Collins, Baron Browning, and Xavier Thomas, if B.J. Ojulari is not ready to go here in week 1 of the regular season. So it's going to be very fascinating to see if he does truly get removed off of the PUP list before, the cut downs happen in the 53. Because if he's not, and Walter's in the same boat, if he's not removed off of PUP before the final 53-man roster state, then they're both going to have to miss 4 weeks at least at least 4 weeks. And that would be very, very unfortunate. That would be very, very unfortunate because not just the deja vu thing, right? It's who cares, right? Who cares deja vu? But like we were really, really bought in. We were really, really sold into the fact that, man, we got this big beef space eater that is going to really give us a breath of fresh air, right? Because, you know, Darius Robinson coming in, and he got hurt, and now Walter coming in and getting hurt with almost similar, like obviously everybody's different, right? Like if you're a calf injury and I get a calf injury, it's going to be different. The severities are going to be different. Your body might heal different than my body. I might take 4 times longer because I'm not used to obviously football activity, right? So at the end of the day, it's all going to depend and kind of really figure out where we go from here. But this is a big story, not just because he's a 16th overall pick, but he at one point was going to probably take the helm for the future of the Arizona Cardinals. And you don't want to be seen as a guy that's injury prone, right? Like we know that if you don't really work very well or do really good in your rookie season, sometimes it might take you year 2 or year 3 to kind of get your name out there. We're seeing this with Marvin Harrison Jr. On paper, we're happy with Marvin Harrison Jr.'s production and what he did in year 1, but because Malik Neighbors and McConkey as well as Brian Thomas Jr. had such fantastic over 1K seasons, they are now better on paper, right? Better on paper than Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't get it, but that's the world of the NFL, right? It's an ugly, nasty business that if you do not show up in year 1, sometimes people can somehow forget about you. So I want Walter Nolan to be available here in week 1, but of course it just depends. It depends. I'm not going to throw him out there if he's not healthy, right? Of course. Now I end up asking you guys here in the chat. I ask you guys in the chat, do you think Walter Nolan will be available in week 1 of the regular season? Who cares about preseason? Like, I wanted to see him in preseason. Absolutely, I did. But I'm not going to throw him in a meaningless game if he's not fully 100% healthy. But my question to you is, do you think he will be ready to go in week 1 of the regular season? I got this question here for you guys here at the top of the chat. If you guys have not already voted, make sure you go and vote it. Right now, we have 59% of people saying yes, they believe that he will be available in week 1. We got 41% saying no. So it's kind of a split of obviously favoring more yes than no, but I'm concerned, man. I'm concerned. I am. I'm a little concerned. I hope, like, one of the dominoes that I want to see before I start panicking is that if he's not removed off of the PUP list before the 53 cut down, then it's going to be a lot more panic. But right now, all we can do is kind of wait and see to see what happens, right? I don't think any of us really expected Walter Nolan to be on the list of players that we're talking about one day into training camp. Like a lot of people were kind of on pins and needles when it came down to Will Johnson. Now, obviously, knock on wood, whoever has wood next to you, knock on it, right? Because we all heard all the injury concerns that people had or all these teams had about Will Johnson. That's why he slipped as far as he did. I didn't expect Walter Nolan to be in the situation right now. I don't think anybody really did. Now, obviously, the defensive line is a very nasty place to be in. Like, you never know what happens. People can step on you. You can roll your ankle. You can do this. You can strain a calf. Anything could happen. You're in the trenches. That's why they call it the trenches. You never really know exactly what happens. But, man, prayers up here to Walter Nolan. I hope nothing but the best. I hope the recovery is quick. I hope it's not as severe as some people are worried about. My chat doesn't seem to be as worried, which is great. I hope he's going to be available here in week 1 of regular season because we can definitely very well use him. Now, here's a big question, right? Who will replace Walter Nolan if he is not going to be available here in week 1 of the regular season? Because, like I said, forget about preseason. I don't even want to see him in preseason, especially because we've seen what a calf injury can do, how long it can actually hold somebody out if they're not fully 100%. We don't want him to re-aggravate it, right? We don't. Like, we don't want another Darius Robinson situation. Just hold him out if he's not 100% in preseason as well, if need be. But who's going to replace him if he's not available? This is the question. The great thing is the Arizona Cardinals went after mad depth. They went after depth on the defensive side of the ball this last year, and it was this last offseason, and it's been magnificent. A lot of us are excited about Kase Campbell coming back. He most likely will be the shoe-in in terms of being that guy, right? Being the guy that's going to have those starting reps on the defensive line because, per the depth chart of ESPN, it's Walter Nolan and Kase Campbell, like at least per the depth chart, right? Now, I truly believe that Kase Campbell might have got the nod over, Walter Nolan to start the season anyways, and maybe it's going to be a split share because of the rotational defenses that we know that Nick Ryland and Jonathan Gannon love. But after Kase Campbell, you got a guy that the Cardinals just brought in on like 3 days ago in Keon Bars, which spent some time with the UFL, and then undrafted rookie in Elijah Simmons, which honestly, I like Elijah Simmons, man. I really do. I was hoping the Cardinals drafted him, but even better, we didn't even have to use a draft pick on him, right? We didn't have to. But we're talking about an overall space eater, right? 6'1", 334 pounds, a guy that can definitely go ahead and stop the run. So we got a guy that's undrafted that we're all hoping can very well be a very good asset for the Arizona Cardinals on the defensive side of the ball, right? The young talent, right? The guy that could hopefully really make a mark moving forward. So these are the guys that I say right now is probably going to be the replacement if Walter Nolan's not a go. If, right? Big if. We don't know if he's going to be available or not. Right now, it's all speculations. Right now, we're seeing some people saying, oh, well, the sources say they're being precautionary, right? Or my sources say that this is a big deal, right? But, I mean, I'm only kind of going based off of what we've heard and seen from Jonathan Gannon. When we hear Jonathan Gannon say he doesn't know, right? Like, he's kind of in the dark. It's kind of a wait-and-see basis. I believe it. I don't think he knows. I don't think he knows exactly what's going on. All they know is that is a calf issue or a calf injury. That's all they know right now. So right now, we're going to have to kind of wait and see how it shakes out. But these are going to be my notable candidates for guys to replace a Walter Nolan if he's not available by week 1 and has to miss 4 weeks because he's probably not going to be removed off the PUP list, right? Like, obviously, that's the worst-case scenario. We don't want that. We want... Forget the rest of the training camp. Forget the rest of the preseason if need be. But if he's ready to go by week 1, that would be absolutely amazing. But that's contingent that he's 100%. I'm not trying to throw him out there if he's like 80 or 75 because we know that can be very, very bad for the Arizona Cardinals or just the defensive line and his career just in general, right? We don't want to see that. So going back to what we were talking about earlier, Ian Rappaport and Darren Erwin both confirmed that B. Joe Ojulari, Walter Nolan, and Bilal Nichols are now being placed on the PUP list to begin training camp. Now, let's go ahead and ask you guys here in the chat, what say you? What say you? We got Illadre saying undrafted rookie out of Tennessee is going to ball. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I love to see it. That's why I have him on my list here. Elijah Simmons can definitely very well be a very good candidate for a potential replacement if he needs to miss time, right? Now, obviously, no fault to his own. He was playing football. It's not like he was doing something that he shouldn't be doing. He was practicing playing football. So I'm not mad at Walter Nolan. I get it at the end of the day. We're just going to have to kind of wait and see how he rests and how he heals, and hopefully nothing but the best. But 100% agree, Illadre. Undrafted rookie out of Tennessee is going to ball. Love to see it. Elijah Simmons. I'm really excited about that as well. Got a few people here in the chat. We got Money saying Calais. I trust him more than all of them. I do too. And I think the Cardinals do as well. Kase Campbell still at his age, right? Pushing 40, still being able to compete to the level that he was able to compete. So I'm excited. I'm excited about Kase Campbell. I truly am. I think we're going to be fine because of Kase Campbell. If we didn't have Calais, I would be a lot more worried. The worriness only really comes from, man, I wanted to see him, right? Like, that's really where the worriness comes from. I'm not trying to rush him. No, I'm not trying to rush him. Have him heal up. We know how calf injuries can be. We've seen him before with our very own first-round pick the year prior in Daryus Robinson. So let's just hope that he can stay healthy when he comes back. It's the old thing I can go ahead and say. John says, when is BJ not on the injured list? I mean, that's a factual statement. That's a factual statement. Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's getting to the point that this is the year that we need to see BJ Ojulari. This is the year that we need to see BJ Ojulari, or we're going to have to start finding out some sort of contingency plan, right? We don't want to live in a world where we're going into the 2025 or 2026 offseason and saying this to ourselves, right? Like,
you're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
We don't want to live in that world, right? We don't want to live in the world where we're now questioning about BJ. because he is supposed to be the guy opposite side of Josh Sweat. Now, I know there's some people that are very high on Baron Browning. If he actually does a good job and, beats everybody out, then okay, I think we're okay. But B.J. Ojulari, you're brought in as a second-round pick to produce, and unfortunately, we just haven't been able to see it, right? We haven't been able to see it. So you're right, John Joe. When is he not on the injured list? It's a good question. He's been on the injured list for a very, very long time. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Few more questions popping up. We got GT Greg. What's up? Calais will be the force, as always, for 35 to 40 snaps as he's already started. When he is out there, I guaranteed Stafford won't be stepping up in the pocket. Love to see it. Love to see it. I mean, yeah, that's why Calais Campbell was brought back. And not only was he a fan favorite, but he's still doing it with the best of them. He still is. It doesn't matter that he's pushing for it. He's still doing it with the best of them. So this is what's having me sleep better at night. I'm going to be real. The acquisition of Calais Campbell is what's helping me sleep better at night. Because Walter Nolan right now, although 16th overall pick, number one thing right now is I need him to focus on just getting better, right? Just getting better. So let's read a couple more chats. Appreciate you guys for being here up and foremost. Do me a huge favor, smack up the like button here on your way in. Subscribe if this is your first time here. Welcome to the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. We're going to be doing crazy content coming out of your ears, this year. I'm really, really excited about it. Training camp starts up today for fans to come on. So the first official day that fans are going to go in there and visit and see exactly what the Cardinals are doing for 2025. This is the official day, but day one was technically yesterday, right? Day one was technically yesterday. Eddie in the chat, rip Hulk, 100%. RIP Hulk, RIP Ozzy Osbourne as well. Crazy times happening right now. Especially when you have a kid. I think it puts you into perspective of life more, because then you start doing math and you're like, oh my goodness gracious, that's only a certain number for where I am right now. It does kind of freak you out. So RIP, both of them for sure. Condolences to both their families. And yeah, I don't like seeing any of these things happen. Great icons for both different reasons in the wrestling world as well as the heavy metal world. But yeah, RIP for sure for both of them. Let's keep it going here with the chat. Appreciate you guys for being here, by the way. Javier says Calais came for a paycheck. Come on, Mike. We all know it ain't. No, man. I don't believe this for a second, man. I really don't. I don't think Calais Campbell's that guy. Now, you could have got me with what was his name? Who did we get a long time? Oh, Terrell Suggs. Terrell Suggs had no business signing a contract with the Arizona Cardinals. Or I guess he did. The business was that he wanted to obviously have a payday, right? He wanted to have one last payday before he rode into the sunset into his retirement, right? So he had business, but nah, Calais Campbell ain't that, man. Calais Campbell loves the Arizona Cardinals organization. He loves the Valley. He loves everything that the Cardinals stand for, and I do believe he's going to give it his all. I really do. Maybe I might be in the minority with that, but for the most part, I think he's going to come into here and I think he's going to ball. Doesn't matter that he's going to push 40. Obviously, my biggest concern is, can he stay healthy? He's proven that he can, right? But let's see. Fingers crossed. But now I don't believe this for a second. I think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to be the number one guy to replace Walter Nolan if Walter does need the 4 weeks, if he's still on the PUP list moving forward. So these are my three candidates that's going to be able to replace Walter if need be. But right now we're thinking positivity. Right now we're thinking, hey, we're all going to be fine, right? We're all going to be fine. So let's get this going. Let's keep it going. JG, Jonathan Gannon, came out yesterday and provided some updates with the situations that we got currently going on. So for the new people that are joining in, let's dive into the updates, because there were some really good follow-up questions pertaining to BJ, Walter Nolan mainly, and obviously Bilal Nichols. And this is what Jonathan Gannon had to say about that.
How serious is Walter Nolan's injury?
They're all different, but he's going to miss some time. Really don't like to compare injuries. He hurt his calf, a little bit different injury, and they're obviously different people. So he's working hard to get back.
When you say this time, you mean you're expecting throughout past camp and into like preseason, regular season, or right now just talking about training camp time?
Well, I don't know, Danny, honestly. they're all different. So he's recovering, rehabbing, and he'll get out there when he needs to get out there, but he's going to miss some time.
The thing I keep hearing Jonathan Gannon say is that he's going to miss some time, right? Like, it's just a lot of unknown, right? And here's the thing. I don't blame Jonathan Gannon for responding the way that he did. I mean, obviously he's providing all the information that he needs to. And what he knows right now is that he's going to miss some time. We don't know what that time entails. We don't know what that time is going to be like into the regular season. And like I said, there were some really good follow-up questions, man. There was some really good follow-up questions in this press conference because, I hate that sometimes people kind of leave it alone, but no, there's some questions that need to be, asked, and they were answered. Right now, there's just a lot of unknown when it comes down to Walter Nolan. So there's that. Bilal Nichols is now on IR. BJ Ojulari on IR. I'm sorry, not IR. I apologize. On the PUP list. The frustrating one more is probably, like, if I were to say, like, which is the most frustrating, I don't know, like, it's hard to say what's frustrating because it's not in their power, right? Like, obviously injuries happen. So, like, I want to be very cautious in replying to this, but BJ Ojulari, I feel like he's on there because he's not quite 100% ready yet. I think he's still dealing with the same thing that ended up happening, and his body probably needs an extra month. So it's my own opinion, right? I'm leaning on the side of optimism when it comes down to BJ Ojulari. If he's not ready to go by the time 53 get cut down, then I'll be a little bit more worried then. Bilal, I do think he probably could be a surprise cut, so I'm not really like the only reason why Walter Nolan is I guess the most, I guess I'm worried about, not really frustrated, but worried about, is because it happened to us last year, right? Like, that's what it is. Like, we all kind of feel a little bit snake bitten. Like, oh man, how many more of these defensive linemen is going through the same thing? Like, that's really kind of the only reason. And that's no fault to Walter, right? He's not Darius. Darius is not him. So it's sometimes hard to separate that, especially when they're two different people, two different players. But that's kind of the feeling that a lot of fans are feeling right now. Like, man, another defensive lineman, going through it again. So let's see. Monty for president says, if you watch a Dolphins game, he's still a dog. Absolutely, 100% agree. Stevie T says, look at Kalea's stats from last year and say he's done. Dude, don't know ball. Yeah, at the end of the day, we got to be realistic. Like, it's not like we're talking about, what's his name? Keon Bars, right? Which we don't know anything about, right? Which we don't. Like, I'm gonna be real, we don't really know much about Keon Bars. He came from the UFL. He was good enough for the Cardinals to sign, but like, we're talking about Kase Campbell here, right? We're talking about the big man, man. We're talking about the big man that has still been able to be at a Pro Bowl level type of play this late into his career, right? We're not talking about a washed Terrell Suggs. We're talking about a fan favorite that's still doing it. So yeah, no, I don't agree with that one bit. Adrian, makes you think about Trey Henderson. I mean, we've been talking about Trey Henderson for a very long time on this channel. Will the Cardinals pull the trigger and make I don't know. I mean, I don't know the severity of BJ Ojulari. Like I said, I'm leaning on the side of optimism. I'm leaning that he's not fully ready to go yet, but it's still the same injury. I don't think he re-aggravated or he got injured again. I think that's what it is. I think training camp opened up and they want to be cautious with him. I think they want to use him for when the games actually matter. So we might not see BJ Ojulari in preseason. So it's unfortunate, yes. It's unfortunate, yes. But I think at the end of the day, what's more important is that can he be able to produce for the Cardinals in the regular season when it really matters, right? So a lot, right? A lot to unfold there. We got some people talking about the Seahawks here. In the chat, Money in the chat saying, Sam Darnold, I feel sorry for him when we play the Seahawks. Well, our defensive line is night and day better. Like, night and day better. There's still a little unknown with the middle linebacker in terms of that Akeem Davis-Gaither position. I have all the confidence in the world in Mack Wilson Sr. I think he's going to do a fantastic job. But Akeem Davis-Gaither, there's still a lot of unknown there. I'm happy with our cornerbacks. I love our secondary, especially if there is some sort of, maybe somebody needs to miss time. I love the depth that we got back there as well. Crawford, which we just drafted this year. And then, of course, Rabbit, a.k.a. Dadrian Taylor-Demerson, which is waiting for his opportunity. So I like what we have in our secondary. The biggest unknown is that middle linebacking position in the defense. Offense on the other side, wide receiver 3 is probably my biggest concern, right? Biggest concern. But yeah, of course, I'm always going to think of Trey Henderson, man. I'm always going to think of Trey Henderson. He's still not signed with the Bengals. I don't know if the Bengals are going to sign him. I know Shamar Stewart, their first round pick this year, also is dealing with the contract situation. So it's a big mess in Cincinnati, man. It's a big mess. Warlock 505, what's up? He says, yeah, they should get Hendrickson because they're already 3 guys hurt before preseason. I'm hoping, like I said, I'm leaning on the side of optimism. I'm hoping that 2 of 3 of those guys, which is BJ as well as Walter, is more precautionary. Now, of course, they're not going to put Walter Nolan as a rookie in there for precautionary. Oh, let's just make sure he's healthy. No, but I'm just saying, like, if it is a calf injury, let him heal up for the time he needs, and then we'll assess in the regular season once it comes around. And then for BJ, that one's more precautionary, I think. And then Bilal, which can be a good depth piece, but some truly might think that he's going to be a cut. But we'll see. We'll see what it goes. But yeah, I mean, Hendrickson, I'm in, man. I'm in. You know me. You know me. I would love nothing more than to bring in Trey Henderson. That would be absolutely ideal. But will it happen? That's the big question. We'll see. GTO, we seem to forget management went out and got Sweat in the offseason. Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, Josh Sweat. He is supposed to be our big playmaker off the edge, right? Supposed to be the big playmaker off the edge. The problem is that I don't want it to be put all on Josh Sweat, right? I think that's where my main concern. So, like, to me, I haven't forgot about it. I think Josh Sweat's going to be a crazy, amazing addition, and I'm really excited to see what he's going to do in the regular season for the Cardinals. But, like, I also don't want to say we have a bona fide edge rusher, one of the best we've had since probably Chandler Jones, right? I don't think we've had an edge rusher that's probably meets the status of Josh Sweat since Chandler. But I also don't want to put it all on him, right? I know people are really excited about Baron Browning. I was excited about B.J. Ojulari. Unfortunately, he got hurt, right? There's Xavier Thomas that had some flashes here and there, which was a late-round pick last year. And then, of course, Zayvon Collins, which is a former first-round pick, supposed to be middle linebacker, but moved to edge. So, yeah, I like Josh Sweat. It's just I don't want it to be put all on him, if that makes sense. Let's keep it with the chat. I didn't read my guy Chill Peasy's comment here, but he says, Mike, time to lock it in. 12-5 this year. Love to see it, man. Love to see the optimism. Like I said before, we were an 8-win team last year with a very not good defense. You're telling me that all the upgrades that we've done this last year can't give us 2 or 3 more wins? That's crazy. Like, that at least gives us 2 or 3 more wins, right? So that should put us plus, at least in the double digits. At least in the double digits in terms of wins. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Love to see it, though. But yes, let's take a look at the poll question. I ended up asking you guys. Right now we have 61 votes. We will go ahead and close up the poll right here. We have 63% saying they think that Walter Nolan will be ready to go by week 1. 36% saying no, they don't believe that Walter Nolan will be available by week 1. All right, total 61 votes. Appreciate you guys for casting your vote there. If you're watching this on a playback, definitely let me know here in the chat if you guys do believe that he is going to be ready to go or not. Are you attending the red and white practice? It's most likely yes. It's 85%. The 15% is a little gray area. I am going to be going to some training camps to kind of visually see with my own eyes what I like, what I don't like, that type of thing. With the red, white in practice, it's always so tricky because it lands on a Saturday. And of course, I got family that has birthdays around that time, so it really just kind of depends on what happens during that time. So we'll see. Great question, though. Great question. Nice. Taking my daughter to nice. Well, hopefully you have a great one, Chef. That would be amazing. That's amazing. I remember when I took my daughter to the very first practice, right? I know not regular season, but it was just a practice game. But, there are little activities, and she was really young. She probably doesn't remember. So as she's getting older, hopefully she appreciates it a little bit more. If Walter's not out for the season, it doesn't make sense to get Trey unless Walter's out for a long time. Fair. Walter Nolan and Trey Henderson are both different positions technically. So I see where you're coming from for sure, just because of obviously depth that hurts depth in general. But I think it's more B.J. Ojulari. If B.J. Ojulari is not able to stay healthy, then Trey could probably be a real that's the thing. But Trey is also missing a lot of crucial time to get, valuable reps and get his body ready for the regular season, because some say that it takes probably about a month to, or maybe even more, to get regular season ready, right? So I'm hoping that he's staying locked in. I'm pretty sure he is. I mean, obviously he's a Pro Bowler caliber player, right? So I'm pretty sure he's staying fit and he's staying in shape. But that's also the thing too, like what happens to a team that does decide to trade? Like, are they going to be able to get production? Like, we don't know, man. We don't know. But yeah, to me, I think it leans a little bit more on Bijo Ojulari. But like I said, I'm leaning on the side of optimism with Bijo Ojulari. I'm hoping that it's going to be more precautionary more than anything. Adrian in the chat says, just like D-Rob last year. Yeah, D-Rob went down with the calf injury as well. Came back, re-aggravated it again. Mom passed away, and then we saw him for like 6 games last year, and it was just a small sample size. I like what I've seen overall, but you want to see a full season, right? Especially with these young guys. But yeah, Daryus Robinson, healthy right now. Hopefully he can stay ready to go and give us a big production heading into this year, because I'm really excited about it, man. I'm really excited about it, because I can very well see Darius Robinson very well being used in the inside as well, right? Justin Jones. No, him too. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I could see Darius Robinson getting kicked to the inside for sure. He's not listed as a defensive tackle per se. He's listed more as a defensive end more than anything, but I could definitely foresee it. I mean, we got a lot of defensive pieces, man. Also, LJ Collier, also listed as a defensive end. Jordan Birch, third round pick this year, also listed as a defensive end as well. But we got depth, man. We got depth. It sucks that 3 of our defensive linemen went down to the PUP list to start the training camp, but let's hope that we can at least get 2 back by the time regular season starts. Let's hope. David, what's up, David? Honestly, D-Rob had to be carted off. Walter was able to walk, so I don't think it's going to be a huge problem. He might miss some time, which sucks. Fair. Here you go, David. Love to see it. Love to hear it, right? It might have been completely 2 different injuries. Although they're both listed as calf injuries, you might be 100% right, David. I'm not in panic mode. I'm really not. It sucks 100%, just like you ended it, right? That last though, which sucks, right? That's how I think we all feel. I don't think any of us are really in panic mode right now because of all the depth that we brought in. But I 100% agree with you, man. I think he'll be fine. Fingers crossed. If I were to put my vote, I probably would put yes, he's going to be available for week 1. If not, that sucks. that sucks. But we'll see. At the end of the day, we'll see exactly what happens. Brock in the chat says, isn't he going to be back by preseason? We don't know. When Jonathan Gannon was asked what's the severity of the injury of Darius Robinson, he didn't put a timeline on it. He didn't. If he put a timeline, I don't think this would be such a big storyline, right? The storyline is because there's a lot of unknown and a lot of gray area when it's coming down to Walter Nolan. So I don't know if he's going to be available by the time preseason starts. If he is, cool, let's go. But there's just a lot of gray area. That's the big, I guess, storyline right now that Jonathan Gannon doesn't know, right? Still probably more tests. He's got to heal up. All he knows right now, he's going to miss time. That's it. Quote unquote, he's going to miss some time. We don't know what that time entails. We don't know if that's preseason, the rest of training camp, or bleeding into the regular season. We don't know. So, yeah, unfortunate. GTO says, what's the feeling about bringing in a gray helmet with our white and Buckeye stickers for good? What's the feeling about bringing in gray helmets with our white? So you want to look like Ohio State more, huh? Ohio State. You want to look more like Ohio State. That's funny. I just hope we don't get ran through like last year. I agree. There was definitely some very obvious things happening with the Arizona Cardinals last year, and it's just that we didn't have the talent to compete on the defensive side of the ball consistently, right? We didn't have that talent to compete on the defensive side of the ball consistently. Now, it almost did feel like a 180, right? From last year to now. Last year, we were talking about the offense was supposed to be the bright spot of this team in 2024. Now, this year in 2025, it's our defense. It's going to be our bright spot, right? There's still a lot of unknown when it comes down to our to to the offensive side of the ball because of the third, can we do it, right? Can we do it? We'll see. But here's the thing, like, we're not the only ones dealing with injuries, right? We're not the only ones dealing with injuries. Like, I'm not sure if you guys heard, but Justin Fields, new quarterback of the New York Jets, he went down with a toe injury, but people were worried because he was carted off, right? Like, I heard he was riding shotgun. He didn't have to be carried, but he rode off, right? So people were worried. Jets fans were worried about it. So, at the end of the day, you're going to get news like this. And I saw a video yesterday that George Pickens, new wide receiver of the Cowboys, went down a little bit. But I don't think it's a big deal, though. I don't think it's a big deal. So, yeah. I think we're going to be fine. There's going to be a lot of injury concerns right now. It's just what it really matters is what happens when the regular season comes around. I wanted to see Walter Nolan in preseason. That's factual. It's just right now, let's see. Last year, failure, I blame offense. You're not alone. I agree. Let's keep one more chat, and then we'll continue, and then we'll be closing up shop. Appreciate you guys for being here. Chef in the chat says, a Cardinal red helmet. Woo-wee. Yeah, I mean, I'm still waiting for those Nike rivalry jerseys to show up here for the Arizona Cardinals. That's really what I'm excited about, honestly. I'm excited about this year's Nike rivalry. If there's a new helmet, you'll better bet your bottom dollar it's going to go right there. Right there. There's a nice empty space right there. Right here. There's a nice empty space right there for it. So, yeah. If they get some new helmets for the Nike rivalry, you bet your bottom dollar. Bet your bottom dollar. Money in the chat says, Will Johnson got to step up development, learn quickly. I mean, yeah, I mean, he's looked pretty solid. I mean, like I said, you had some 7x7 or 7-on-7s. You had some highlights on social media. You got those videos on X and Twitter, right? Of course, people get very excited when you see Kyler Murray throw the ball to Marvin because that's been a connection that we've been dying to see on a consistent basis last year. We haven't really seen as consistent as we thought we were going to see, but, let's see what year 2 of them can be, right? Let's see what year 2 can be because hopefully it gets better and better and better. Hopefully. RC3, what's up, brother? All right. 2 more comments. You guys are flooding in some comments here, so I don't want to ignore you guys. John in the chat says, too old Greg and Chad Ryland was also good on pressure kicks. We won a bunch of games because of him. Yeah, I think Chad Ryland's going to be our kicker. Kyler is seeing the new rivalry jersey, says there. Yeah, I did see that video. Yep, did see that. Cardinals fan says both sides of the ball share the blame. Defense was iffy, so offense had to play conservative. Hopefully with our new D-line, we'll be better both sides. Yeah. Definitely both had some fair share, right? I feel like I gave a lot of slack to the defense because of the lack of talent we had on that roster. I gave a lot of slack to that defense. I really, really did last year. But yeah, there was some games that we just got ran through, man. We got ran through last year. I gave a lot of slack to the defense. Now, no slack. To nobody, right? Nobody. No slack to the offense. No slack to all expectations are full go. Have you seen Will Johnson's YouTube yet? Yeah, I have seen it. Yep. RC3, are we panicking about the success we got this offseason? Are we worried about our offense this year too or not? Are we panicking about all the success we had this offseason? No, I don't think anybody's in panic mode right now, or at least I'm not, right? At least I'm not. I know I've seen some people out there talk about B.J. Ojolari. We should cut him or get rid of him. I'm not one of those guys. I feel like this is going to be more of a precautionary. I think he's going to be fine. At least that's my optimism going into the regular season. If he's not, then we have to talk about it. Bilal Nichols, although I love the depth, he might be a cut, right? Walter Nolen, a good pick in 16th overall. But it sucks that we're almost feeling the same thing that ended up happening to us, right? Like that's one thing that, but yeah, I'm not panicking myself. Are we worried about our offense this year too or not? I have a little worry about our offense personally. I know some people don't. I have a little worry about him, but let's see. I'm putting my full faith in Petzing and Kyler and Trey and Marv, and James Conner, that they can get it right, right? I'm putting all my faith that they're going to be able to get it right. That's the only thing I can do at this moment. It's the only thing I can do at this moment. So we'll see. We'll see how it all goes. All right, let's do this. Today is going to be the official day that training camp is open for fans. Super exciting. Let's go. Rock and roll. Rock and roll. Love to see it. But we will be closing up shop right now. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Absolutely appreciate it. If this is your first time here, subscribe it up. On the road to 17K. Cannot do it without you guys. If this is your first time here, smack the like button. Make sure you go ahead and smack it up. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Up and foremost, we will continue with these live streams, obviously, talking about what I've seen in these training camps. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of battles, right? At least per Jonathan Gannon, there's a lot of battles that are happening within specific positions. And I believe it. I believe them. So let me see what I see firsthand. And we'll be able to rock and roll. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. Have a great rest of your guys' day. You guys are all absolutely amazing. Smack the like button on your way out. Yeah, Clayton Tune is done, unfortunately. All right, y'all. Have a great rest of your day, and as always, go Cardinals.